In this installment of the VIP Test Modeler 101 training series, we're going to be creating reusable subprocesses. The goal of this session is that by the end you will understand the concept of subprocesses and be able to embed a subprocess in a much bigger model. Subprocesses enable us to create reusable components inside a model. Flowcharts can be quickly drag and dropped onto the canvas, quickly incorporating lower level components within master flows. Once a system component has been modeled, the test logic and data needed to test it can be reused, reducing repetitive manual effort and enabling scalability across your testing environments. To add a subprocess, all you need to do is drag and drop the subprocess block onto the canvas. All of the models are then displayed with their relevant projects and releases sorted by version. You just need to pick the version you want to import, and then that becomes available inside your model, which you can connect up. There are some constraints when using subflows. Firstly, actions can only be connected to the start and end point within the current subprocesses. The start and end points within the subprocesses can equally connect to any action outside and in the existing model. The start and end points serve as the inputs and outputs of the subprocess, incorporating its logic into the master model. Looping is not possible, meaning that an endpoint of a subprocess cannot be connected to the block in the master model from which that same process is connected. If a model is being used as a subprocess in another model and its start and end points are removed, this will break the current logic of the master flow. Therefore, inside a subflow, when removing start or end nodes, a new version must be saved to maintain this integrity. So what we're going to do now is combine our login flow with some of the flows in the example project to create a much bigger flow. And then we'll chain them all together and create some tests. So let's jump into Test Modeler and start embedding some sub-processes. Okay, so we're just back inside Test Modeler, and what we're going to do here is create a new model. And we're going to call this model order processing and click OK. And we'll open this model up, and here we have a blank canvas that we can get started with. Now if I go back into the models directory here and we navigate over to our examples project, what you will see is inside here there is a training project which is based around the Magento system. And you'll see in here we've already got a login flow which has been pre-built. And then we've got the concept of adding an item into the shopping cart. Let's take a look at that. So you'll see here there's a few different categories and products which we can go through and then add a product. And then there's another model inside here for going through the shopping cart process, which is just a happy path model that we've got built. So what we want to do is create a much bigger flow which will go through the login process. If we're logged in, add an item to the cart and then go through the shopping cart process. Now to do that, we're going to add a start point here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to embed our login flow. Now to do that, we have the block type here, subprocess. If I drag and drop that onto the canvas, we'll see it comes up with all of my folders and asks me to select a model version. If I open up my Magento folder here, you'll see we've got the login flow available. I'm going to click import. And this block has now changed to type login version 1. If I open this up, what you will see is that it contains its own world of logic, and inside here is the flow that we created. Now all I need to do is connect up my start block to here, and that links in as so. Now what we're going to do is drag and drop another subprocess. This time we're going to go into the training project, and we're going to select the add item flow here. Click import, and again we can open this up, and what we'll do here is we'll connect the authenticated state into this subflow. So we only want to add an item when we are authenticated. We'll add an end node in here as well, and what we'll connect this end node up to will be our unauthenticated state, because we still want to test that facet of the system. I just need to come in here and select the end node that I'm going to connect to. So I'm going to connect to unauthenticated and click OK. Now what we're going to do is just add one more subprocess in here, and that subprocess will be the shopping cart. So we'll go into the shopping cart folder, select that model, click import. Now I don't have to open up the subprocess to connect it into my model. I can literally just drag and create a new edge, connect it to my subprocess, and that gets added. And then I could do the same for an outgoing node. All I have to do is connect it up. Where there are 2 or more start or end nodes, it comes up with a drop down asking me what I want to connect to. Now I can open this up and we can see here all of this has been connected through. Now what I can do is I can go in, I can save my model here. So we'll do a save. We'll see the subflows collapse here whenever we save. Just reopen these. So we'll go into the generate bar, click generate. And what we'll see is that we get 5 paths here. And if we take a look at these 5 tests run through all of my model here. So subprocesses are a really nice way to enable reusability. If we think about most enterprise grade applications, they will have some kind of login screen. So this is quite a good example because whenever I'm testing an enterprise application, I will have to reuse my login model in virtually every test case or every model I create. So to facilitate that, I just have to drag and drop a new subprocess, reuse an existing model instead of rewriting and spending time performing repetitive tasks. Thanks for listening. Any questions, please email james.walker@curiosity.software.